Developed in the 1970s by a group of psychologists studying successful people, NLP analyzes successful behaviors to understand what makes the ways of these successful people so effective. Why is it that one person can do something and be great at it, whilst another person can do the same thing and seemingly fail? Since its inception, NLP has evolved to examine thought processes and language patterns, as well as human behavior. It helps us understand the connection between behavior, emotions, the mind, body, our actions, and ultimately improving the effectiveness and impact of our communication. So welcome to the Essential NLP Diploma. I'm Trish Palin, and if you want to know more about me, click on the link that's down in the description. But let's do some fun NLP stuff before we get into the serious stuff.
This video is brought to you by Clinical Hypnosis, Australia and Hypnosis New Zealand. Ready to break those habits? Let our professional hypnotherapist help you make the change today.
Finish this sentence. Practice makes... That's right, consistency. It's never made perfect. If it made perfect, then everybody who was ever perfect at something would still be perfect at it. And when we strive for perfection, that can lead to procrastination. You've just learnt something. Your neuro-linguistic program has just leveled up. So practice makes consistency. Keep doing it. But what is NLP? NLP is the study of excellence. It's a pseudoscientific approach to communication and personal development. You may be thinking, you said before it was about the studies of successful people. No one said that success was doing it very great and 100% on par. So let's delve into the broken up sections of it. So we have neuro, linguistic, and programming. The neuro part understands the methods of influencing and modifying our brain's behaviors, involving creating connections between desired outcomes and our subjective experience, so both mentally and emotionally. This process often refers to as neuro-influencing, just like I did with you just a moment ago, where I said to you, practice makes. That's known as neuro-influencing, because you have programmed yourself to go perfect. However, when I bring in something that's a little bit different, that's when you start to change that neuro-influencing and you start to think, it's exactly the same as a toothbrush. Why isn't it called a teeth brush? Because we don't brush just one tooth with it, we brush our teeth with it. But that's not going to sit very well with your beliefs, so you're probably not going to be very influenced to change that neuroplasticity of your mind and start calling it a teeth brush. Neuro-influencing is the key for personal and professional growth. So examples on how this information is received by the brain is done by values, our beliefs, our identity, and the stories that we reflect with and connect to. Now let's talk about linguistic. Language and any other non-verbal communication systems serve as a means by which your neural representations are encoded, organized, and imbued with meaning. So this includes any verbal or non-verbal cues, transformations, anything that's hypnotic, and metaphors. And what about the programming part? This is the capacity for you to identify, modify, and apply the behavioral patterns, so the programs that you employ as self-communication or interactions with others to achieve something specific or a desired outcome. So in other words, NLP is how we use language in our mind that we have learned to achieve a specific goal or a desired outcome. So as an example, let's just say you're trying to achieve a goal and you keep repeating a habit or something just keeps going on. This is where we can make the unconscious conscious. We can start to analyze those specific goals and tweak the system to achieve it in a better way, a faster way, or a more desirable outcome. Hey, we've all done those things where we've walked into another room and we've completely forgotten whilst we're gone there. And that's when we need to understand what makes us do that and how it is we can improve that system. So NLP is broken into 4 elements. The first element is setting your goal. This element focuses on your intention. Now, the key question here is, what's in it for you? Nobody's done anything without having a what's in it for you purpose. There are a lot of people that will only have very small goals, so they just like to do things for people because it makes them feel good. And then there's other people that will have big goals because they want to influence people, so they'll go into politics or become a president or something quite big. But the key factor is, what is in it for you? Many people might resist this question or get a little bit of a block towards it, claiming there's nothing in it for them. However, the truth is there's always something. So it can be, like I said before, something small, like a feeling or an acknowledgement, or it can be something really, really big. It doesn't matter either way. The benefit can be significant or minor, but it always exists. The second element of NLP is presuppositions. These are the perception of reality based on the knowledge and information that you have. We will delve deeper into this concept a little bit later, but presuppositions act as a map rather than a territory. And that's why when something's not working for us, we can map a different path. We can create a different goal or a different outcome. These are not places where you go, no, this is it. This is the way I am for the rest of my life. You get to choose what it is that you choose to believe in and how you're going to take that information and knowledge into your future. So as a great example, if you take about 30 people and you ask them to draw a flower, you give them the exact same piece of paper, the exact same pencil, every single one of those 30 people will have a different view on how that flower is to be perceived. This variation does not imply that one drawing is correct and the other one is wrong. It just simply reflects individual perceptions based on knowledge and skills. Pretty simple, right? Now, the third element is mapping feedback. So based on the presuppositions, we map information into our brains. We can choose to upgrade our brains, change it, or retain these same mapping systems, whether it be traditional or reasoning. The brain and the body are interconnected, and what we communicate to our brain and our body responds accordingly. The fourth element is every behavior has a positive intent. This principle asserts that all behaviors are driven by positive intent. Even actions that seem negative are motivated by what is known as the secondary gain. So while the secondary gain may not be immediately apparent, it always exists. And when we understand these principles, this helps us develop a positive NLP behaviors. Many people might get a little bit of resistance to me saying this because they're like, oh, well, I have depression because of this reason. Yes, but what is it doing for you? There's something it's doing it for you, which is a secondary gain that you haven't managed to align with in a better way, in a healthier way. And there's nothing wrong with it. Depression is not a bad thing. It makes us feel like shit. Nobody's saying that it's not. But what is it doing for you that you haven't managed to level up to or find the energy for to step forward from? Because once you step forward, all of a sudden, the depression just changes into a different emotion. Same with anxiety, sadness, grief, all those things. Once upon a time, you had ultimate love for something or someone, and then you were no longer gaining something out of that love, and it changed to hate. That's how it works. As we move along, we can break these elements into principles as well. So the first principle is rapport. If you feel at ease with someone and their actions and their goals and ease with yourself, then you'll have rapport. You can use rapport in conversations and interactions. Sometimes it's just someone that you really, really don't like and you don't know why. That might be a lack of energy rapport. And then there's other people that you meet and you're like, wow, it's like we've been sisters forever. And that is instant rapport. It just means that you guys align together. So whether those rapport are based on what they say, how they say it, how they dress, that's all up into interpretation for you. So with the rapport building, it can come from utilizing your body language, communication pacing effectively, slowing down a little bit, making your pitch higher or lower, or understanding the situation from the other person's perspective. Taking that time to really listen and grow with them. The second principle is the senses. This is where all the information comes in for the NLP language. So your senses gather all this information and then create this belief system, it'll throw some stuff out going, nah, fuck that, that's not real. And then other stuff will be like, oh yeah, totally, let's just glue that right in there. This is how you get all this NLP language and you map your mind from your senses. So whether it's your vision, your hearing, sense of touch, smell, or taste, and if you want to go into the more spiritual side, the energy realm, that's up for a different debate. But senses is completely part of all the principles of NLP. The third one is flexibility. By adapting your approach, you can create a new perspective. Understand why you and others may interpret situations just differently. So, for example, you may have a mother that is guilty because they have no money. And then the child comes along and says, I don't need to eat a fancy dinner tonight, mummy. I'm happy to just have a sandwich. Now, the mother may approach that and feel like they're letting them down as a parent. Rather than going, wow, I have a great child that understands we're a little bit tight at the moment and wants to contribute to us being successful. They're the perspectives. So rather than the mother feeling guilt and shame and then just trying to constantly level up expectations, come down to the level of the child and went, we're a team, we're in this together, times are rough but it won't be like this forever, let's move forward together as a team. So it's all about having flexibility towards your standards, your beliefs and your perception. The fourth principle is the outcome. You focus on outcomes that you desire rather than the negative thinking, because this thing, it will slap you down as much as it possibly can. Know your intentions and your goals in both business and personal life, spiritual and soul-based. We will explore these principles in more details in upcoming topics and in those subjects as well. But just for now, start to think about that NLP stuff that's going on. What is the story that you're telling yourself? When you get in that information, is it making you feel sick? So you may smell something and go, oh, gross. And then you can start to think, okay, what is it that's making me think this is gross? Is it because it's protecting me and I know that you shouldn't be smelling that? Or is it because I had a negative experience, I've now grown out of that and I want to change it? Get those neuroplasticity parts of your mind firing and delve in a little bit deeper. And thank you for joining in with me today. I'll see you in the next video. My name's Trish Pellin. Please click on the links down in the description if you want to read more. Bye.